Guys, back with another couple of builds. Yes, plural. I'm doing 3 at once, and of course, yes, this is very different to what I've done before because I already have done a video on this, already done a video on this, and I've already done a video on this. Now, I thought about putting this together because this is I have to do this quite quickly, but I thought I would still throw something together just to sort of give you a quick little refresher on some of the cases and some of what I'm actually doing, because I'm actually doing some different things to what I have done in the past, and not totally different, but I am doing some different bits and pieces. So I've laid out everything so you can actually see exactly what I'm doing, and yeah, we'll go from there, and I'll give you the end result and some bits and pieces as I'm going along. But I'm going to try not to make this nowhere near as long as, say, that Johnsbow case that I actually did, which was like 17 minutes long. I think I had to cut it down from like 24 minutes or something. So anyway, so we'll get stuck into it. So as you can see here, I've got the Versa H17. I've done a video from this before. The CMP501, which comes with its power supply, I've done that one before. And the Masterbox Lite 3.1. Done several of these, and I still love the case. I actually have personally one of, I have it myself now, and I really like it. But anyway, so getting stuck into it. So first off, as you can see here, here's all my bits and pieces. These are my my fan splitters, SATA cables, like RGB splitters and stuff like that. So that's all the cables. Didn't want to put all that out there and confuse the hell out of everybody. But so first off, we'll start off with this one. So we're going for this one here. I'm keeping costs down. All of these are all contract builds, so these are all for clients and everything. But again, I'm keeping my cost down as much as I possibly can, and I'm recycling some bits and pieces that I had inside that were still fine, and some that I've bought online. But anyway, so this one here, as you can see, this is the H17. It's the Pro 4M. And what I've got in here, I know you can't really see it, but this is an i5-3570K, and I've actually got 16 gigabytes on here. I actually do have another 4 sticks coming from this, but unfortunately for this video, they didn't arrive. They were sent like 7 days ago, so I was hoping they were going to arrive sometime this week. Today is Saturday, but they did not. So bit of a pisser, but what I'll do is I'll just take 1 stick from there, put it into there to get it going. But anyway, so that's another build. So as I said, I've got the CPU, I've got 16 gig of RAM on this one. Now what I've got going here, you can actually see that I've got a 140 and then I've got 2 120s. The reason why I've gone for this particular one is one, price. I got them to price match me, and I got all these, I think they were like $19 each or something like that. But this one here, on this particular case, I can have 140s on the front, but to be able to get the SSD to fit on the side, I need to have a 120. So that would be the reason. So I've actually got a 140 going straight across the graphics card, and I've got the 120 there. I can put the SSD behind it, or mount it on the back of it, and yeah, and then I've got the other one to be mounted on the back of here. As well, you can see there, I'm still using the i71Cs. Another one across there. They're great. They look good, and they keep the CPU cool. I'm not joking. I've actually haven't had any problems with them, so I'm sticking to that. And then it's all completely RGB. This is the graphics card I'm going for. I do still have the box over here. So quickly, this one here, as you can see here, is the RX 570. Yeah, 4 gigabyte edition and by gigabyte. And yeah, so this is all good. Amazing price for it. As you can see, it's brand new, has never been used. So I was actually really lucky with this. But anyway, so Wi-Fi. This is the hard drive I'm going for, which is the 1 terabyte, and I've got the 120 gigabyte SSD. So that's that one. So that one out of the way. Now I've gone for this case because 1, it already had its power supply in it. And 2, as you can see here, this is a 6-slot or an ATX board. So again, what I've got going in this is exactly the same CPU, and this is a i5-3570K. Very lucky again. Got that for a real steal. I think I got it for like 59 bucks or something like that. So I've got that going in there. And then what I've got going here is that this is a GTX 980. And I'm going to swap out this power supply. I have used this in the past, and it's not that fantastic, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do in a moment, but I'm going to use a different power supply for this one anyway. And so, yeah, so I've got the 980, I've got this board, I've got 16 gigabytes going in this, and yeah, and then we're moving on. What I'm actually going to do is that I've got this was mine, and I've upgraded onto RGB, but this was a Coolermaster, I think it's called an ML, or I think it's just called Cedon 240, but these come with blue. So these are blue lights, and I've got another blue one here. So blue will go on the back, and then I'll have the two blues here, be liquid cooled, and yeah, so pretty self-explanatory. Again, Wi-Fi card, 1 terabyte, and a 120 gigabyte SSD. So that's that one. Just unfortunately, I don't have the RAM for that one. Moving on to this one here. So this here is pretty simple and straightforward. You can see there's a couple of different bits of RAM, but they're all GEL, and so these are RGB. These have got spines on them. These are super loose, and then I've just stuck to two 2400s, and they're just 4 each. So all up, this is 16 gigabyte, and this one here, as you can see, is a B250M. It has your M2 on board. There's actually twin M2s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's another one down here, and yeah. So this one here isn't anything dramatic. I think I've got like a, well, you can probably see, I think. Yeah, so i5 6500 in there, and what we've gone for is this is a GTX 1050 Ti, and I got these for an absolute steal. I think I got these for like 15 bucks each. I wasn't happy because when I wanted 6 of these, they only had one of those in stock, one of those in stock, oh sorry, those 2 in stock, and then another one of these. And then I'm like, but I need 6. So then they said, well look, we've got these, we'll give them to you for a good price. So these will suit me because these have the red ring, sorry, the red ring, but they have the RGB ring around the outside, not like the Coolermasters which light up all of this. So these will look cool because they're, this on the 3.1, this is acrylic see-through, so then they're going to look really, really great on the front there. And then obviously I have another one here, and then you'll have your i71C, which will be in the middle. And yeah, so pretty much again, Wi-Fi card, 1 terabyte, and then I've gone for a 240 M2, which will go straight onto the board. And yeah, so there you go. This is going to be a bit crazy. It's now, so there you go, it's 12:30 on a Saturday. We'll see how we go for build time. Obviously, what takes the most time more than anything is installing Windows. And just quickly, I just fucked up because I forgot to show you what power supplies I'm going for. And these are all they are. These are just these VS550s. I'm really liking these. They're a great price. They're 80 plus, and I don't think I really need anything more than this to power what I've got going. I'm a little bit worried maybe about the 980. But we'll see how we go. But anyway, as I said, I've got a 600 in here, but this isn't the best power supply. I have had a drama with that in the past, but I think it may have been faulty. But anyway, so there we are, guys. I'll see how I go for time, but I'm not going to bore you with everything of, you know, how I'm going and pulling it all apart. I'll try and put the links in the description for all these builds that I've done in greater detail. But that's not what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to like take you through what I'm, you know, pulling apart in its skeleton form and whatnot else. If you want to see that, just click the other links and we'll go from there. Okay, cool. This is done. This is the first one done. This was the i5 6500 with the GTX 1050 Ti. There you go. It's 10:03. So a bit of time. Only my concerning thing was these ones here. These RGBs. They had a not very deep pins that were on the actual connector. They are great because they come with male and female connectors. But the thing is that if I had those little extra you know, pins as such to go from female to female, it's a little male thing, I would have used the female, but I do not. So I was kind of stuck to use the male side of things, and I had to wrap electrical tape around them. But anyway, we're done. We're completely done. The reason why I've left this front off, I have swapped the usual red for black, and this is where, like, see what I mean? Like, this is the actual connector. It's starting to fall apart already, but I'll fix it up in a moment. But this is where I've put the connector, and I've actually put the front and everything on. Instead of me drilling holes and putting it on the front or something like that, This pops off really easy, so whoever takes it off my hands can actually do that, and it's completely hidden and everything because this is the sort of side that you see it, and then you can, you know, look at it from the front. But anyway, so there you go. So that's the first one done. So I'll move on to the next one. Yeah? All right, so it's now what's that? You know, nearly 20 to 9 in the morning. It sort of gave up last night, but you know, this has got completely all Windows 10 and all its updates. All like you know, software for the hardware, all done, all completely done. I'm just installing Apex and Fortnite at the moment, but this is it. This is all going. These fans are pretty cool. I have only used these once when I actually bought a Gamer Chief case, so I think they look really good with this Masterbox Lite 3.1. Actually, look really cool. I did have some major drama with these. I have actually written down faulty. I think I might be contacting Coolermaster over these. These are the brand new little controllers that come with the i71C coolers. I actually had two. This is one. I've got the other one for the other build, and they were brand new out of the box, and they did not work. And after going through all this, you know, doubly, triply, quadruply checking all of my RGB connections and my power connection, I could not get it to work. And then I had a spare one, and as you can see, that's just where the controller is now. It's pretty groovy actually, because you can just put this straight back over the top of it, and it's pretty cool, and don't have to drill any holes or anything. And yeah, but yeah, so that's, as soon as I plugged it in, the spare one I had, it just lit up straight away. So I'm not too sure. It's a bit of a disappointment, because as I said, they were brand new out of the box of the air coolers. So anyway, there you go, guys. Bit of a disappointment with using this super loose, this Gel super loose RAM, because this motherboard, this B250M-A Prime or whatever it is, does not have an RGB connection, which you know, doesn't have the RGB sync. But it doesn't matter. It actually looks really cool. I've already got this up ready for sale. But yeah, just doing Apex at the moment, nearly done. And I'll do Fortnite, and we are done. I think the next one I'll move on to is the CMP501 with the liquid cooling and all the blue and everything, and we'll give you a look at that. Okay, next one complete. It is now 5:45, so a bit of time on this one. I have to say that fucking hate this case, really do. You know, especially for liquid cooling and stuff like that, you can actually see where I've had to actually, you've got to bend the metal out. You can't take this out like, say, in some of your other ones, especially like, say, with the Masterbox Lite 3.1. You can actually, they have screws here and here, and then 4 underneath, and you can actually remove the caddy. Yeah, no, this is actually, you know, pot riveted in, and yeah, like, so literally you can't even put the radiator in that way either at all. It gets stuck up here or whatever, and it's just it's an absolute fucking nightmare, really it is. So I remember why I didn't go back to this case. But anyway, so what I ended up doing is I took out the power supply out of this and put it into the 6th gen. Now you're probably wondering why I put it into the 6th gen. Is the newer gen stuff doesn't seem to use a lot of power to run, whereas old gen does. It's all power hungry, but I know that I've jumped down a little bit. But this is actually a way more efficient power supply than compared to whatever the fuck it's called, like an Elite whatever, but it's not an 80 plus that comes in this, so I went for this. But anyway, so it all looks pretty good. Again, I'm not going to be asking much money for this, but you know, it's all come together. One thing I did notice, I've already chucked it out, fuck it, but in here the lugs, they're shit. They wouldn't even hold on. So what I ended up having to do is I had to put screws into it. It's fine now. It's really solid. But yeah, I will not be going back to this case. When I was at Austin Computers today, when I was picking up all these parts, they had I think it was an MSI Vampiric, and it was $99, and it looked awesome. So this is like $95, and it comes with its power supply. But you know, the power supply in this is not great. So anyway, we're done. That's another one out of the way. Gonna smash out the next one. Yeah. Okay, another one done, completely done. It is, what's that, 25 to 8, so 7:35, and yeah, we're all completely done. So what I did differently on this one is, because I am using, you know, the 2.5-inch SSD, I found that when I used this case last time, I could not have two 140s on here. The 140s restrict me from actually using this part here. So I've got the 120 up here. I'll get a bit better light in there for you. Actually, here we go. We'll just do it this way. So what I've actually done is that I've put the 120 here and then the 140 there, and basically you can sort of see that the 140 is nearly buttoned up against the actual SSD. But yeah, this is all completely done now, and I've only got the one stick around. I think I spoke about this before, that that what I was doing is that I'm still waiting for the RAM, but you know, that's just 8 gig there. It's good enough to get me going and you know, install Windows and everything. But yeah, this is all pretty good. I'm really happy with this. So there's the other one. That's the 6th gen. I'm getting ready to you know, get my test, you know, my test rig and everything all out, and you know, install Windows and everything. So as I said, like, these are all completely built. There's the one over there, this one here, this one here. So they're all completely built now, and whatever time I started, like, you know, 1 o'clock or whatever, and you know, so that's what, 6.5 hours, so roughly around about sort of, I don't know, 2 hours each sort of thing. But that fucker over there took me a long time. Don't like that case. I'll never be going back to it. That CMP501, it's just a friggin' nightmare. But look, if you're not using liquid cooling, if you're just using you know, air cooling and stuff like that, sure, no problem at all. But I will say that you can have a look at what it actually is now. So that's what it is. It's an Elite V3 600. I'm not going to say it's complete rubbish, but I think no, it's not a good power supply. So I'm confident that it's all fine in that. But yeah, I'm sure that there's better cases out there with you know, better power supplies as such. But as well, I actually told a bit of bullshit before. I didn't mean to, but this is a GTX 964 gigabyte overclock. Sorry, I said 980. I picked up a 980 the other day, and I got confused. But sorry, but that's a 960. So yeah, again, you know, Jesus, I wouldn't be putting a 980 in it, but I just got a little bit carried away. But anyway, so that's all good. This is all completely all done. That'll be all blue, and these two here are RGB. So yeah. Anyway, I'll get stuck into this. I'll show you what this one looks like. Hopefully I can actually get the video all together where I turn on each one so you can actually have a look. And yeah, all good. Okay, thanks, third one built. We are all ready to go. We are ready to turn on. I have drawn the blinds a little bit, but you can kind of see this is where I've put that RGB controller. It's very secure. Again, I don't take off the protective film. That's for whoever takes it off my hands to actually do. Sort of like a, you know, cool little christening of a new PC. The RAM finally came. Finally, that was vengeance. Finally came. Oh my god, they took like so long. So this is not the next day. This is like, unfortunately, this is a week later to when the other ones were built, just because the RAM took ages to get to me. But we are all ready to go. So we'll. Oh, there you go. A bit of a bugger up already. There we are. So this is that 140 there, and then this one here is the 120, so I can have the SSD on the side instead of putting it on the other side. I thought I could just show it off, but yeah, it looks fantastic. I'll just take these off for you. It is a little bit louder, but you know, it should cool down in a moment because I've installed the software for the motherboard. But there you go. It's all very good. As you can see here, this will take a little bit of time for the as you can see, there's the motherboard software coming on board now, and then hopefully in a moment the Aorus software will come on, the graphics card little thing. There it is. So yeah, I'm really happy with this build. I probably will be staying away from 3rd gen. I'm so used to like at least a minimal of 6th gen onwards that, you know, this sort of 3rd gen stuff, it's good. It struggled a little bit with some of the programs and some of the games that I wanted to do with it, but it still held up very, very good. This CPU is easily overclocked to 3.9. I mean, I'm sure that I can get more out of it, but it's comfortably sitting at 3.9 at the moment, so happy with that. And with the XMP RAM, it's all very good. But so there you go, guys. That's the H17 all completely built. I do prefer the H18 compared to this one, but it's been really hard to get my hands on it. But there you go. So apologies for not having a video for the second one. I sold it really, really quickly, and so there's only going to be pictures up for it. So apologies for that. But that's it. That's all 3 computers built. If I had all the parts here, which that was the only thing I was actually waiting on, which was the RAM. If I had that, this would have been done a week ago, but yeah, it is what it is, and we're all good. So thanks, guys. Bye.